Good morning, everybody. Today I would like to briefly discuss language in a few different dimensions, I guess. First of all, let's talk about... slip sliding away, right? Oh my gosh. Wow, that's special. All right. I don't have my usual setup here, which is hardly a setup, but it's usually just a half of a joint holding my phone up. But unfortunately, that got smoked. So I don't have that. So let's talk about language. What about language? First of all, I want to kind of briefly discuss the great debate that Austin Whitsitt had on InfoWars yesterday. I hope everybody watching this was able to discern just how manipulative Harrison was. I want you all to pay attention to the words and language used. People on screens, especially those that are paid by corporations, even as like ones like InfoWars, want you to pay attention to the words they use and notice patterns in how they speak. For instance, Harrison kept using the words obviously, clearly, everybody knows this. Those are manipulative words. Those words are used to make you feel outside the norm. And what that does is it subconsciously makes you think that the person who knows things clearly is in the right. That's not, it could be the case, it could not be the case. We don't gauge whether somebody's right or not by what words they use. I recommend watching Mind Shock's breakdown of the debate. Although it wasn't as long as I would have liked, it's there and it's worth the watch. So, sorry, I gotta keep an eye on where I'm going because I went a different way today. And so that was a big deal. I think that Austin handled himself extremely well. And I'm certain he could see how he was being manipulated or how Harrison was trying to manipulate him. But he wasn't even really trying to manipulate Austin. And that's the dirtiest part of all. He was trying to manipulate his audience. Oh my God, I got an itchy nose today. And that's real repugnant. So what Harrison was doing was using those words like clearly, everybody knows, blah, 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 to put Austin down as though he is insane or as though he's stupid. And then the same guy, Harrison, also told his audience, well, I don't really know much about this, but I know I'm right. He didn't say those exact words, but that's what they meant. Guys, these are the type of people that oppose you. It's not even worth debating them. First of all, they don't want to be convinced. Second of all, they might even know what you know, but they won't let on. Even if you do win a debate, they're not gonna admit defeat. These people are so full of themselves. And clearly Austin won that debate because Harrison brought nothing besides script reading. He was literally reading a script that whole time. Anything that Austin said, he would just reply with the closest piece of mainstream idiocy that he could muster up. What a narcissist. Also, let's talk about planar. So, people will tell you that the term the term planet comes from the Latin word for, I think it's Latin. It's either Latin or Greek. Probably Latin. Comes from the Latin word for wandering star. And that's incorrect. It does not. It comes from the word wanderer. And so why is such a small distinction also such an important distinction? It's because back to words used have a certain effect on people and a certain way of swaying them. That's why we spell. Okay, we write spells. That's why we write in cursive. Okay, that's why. Let's see, what was the other one? We write. You do rites, magical rites, RITEWRITE. You know, all of this is just so very, very shallowly, it's new, shallow beneath the surface that it's readily there for anybody who actually has eyes to see. Just like in the Bible, you got Son. The Son of God is the Son of God. It's the Son. Okay? Yeah, so I just totally lost track. Oh man. Yeah, so words. All of them just escaped me. That's embarrassing. Not really. I don't care. There's something else I wanted to say though. So, yeah, wanderer. Of course. Of course they wander, but that does not imply that they're stars. That does not imply that they're terra firma. That does not imply anything other than being a description of their movement. And so these solar system proponents, they will come at flat earthers like, oh, don't you know that the origin of the word planet has nothing to do with plane? Oh, what do you want to bet? Plane has the exact same root word. I'm not sure of that, but I'm willing to put money on it. And that's how words are used to deceive. Another way words are used to deceive and to obfuscate and to fool you is in the legal system. It's a foreign language they speak. It's legalese. I think I've discussed this on previous videos. And we have been so conditioned by shows like Law and Order, by, just the constant inundation of that legalese. We've been conditioned to think that it's normal that that people speak a foreign language when deciding your fate in a court of law. And that's not the case. What it does is it allows you to essentially be a foreign enemy because you don't speak the same language that they use in DC. And DC is the only place where there are United States citizens. You got to be basically a member of the corporation that is the United States. Company. What does company mean? Company implies that not just a business. Okay, that's something. That's an entity, legally an entity which can wage war on its competitors. For instance, the East India Trading Company is a prime example. That was so far beyond just Walmart, although if you better believe that Walmart has the same ability to wage war that the East India Trading Company did in whenever the early 1900s, late 1800s. The years escape me, but the concept is the important part. What structure we live under without even understanding the meaning of the words used to describe that structure. It is just the most impressive level of ignorance, and it has been taught into us. And here's the problem: the people teaching us the incorrect definitions, they're not lying, and that's how they get away with it so much, because they honestly believe what they're teaching you. Just like the teacher who teaches climate change or the moon landing, they believe it. Okay, if you are able to see through it, you're a dangerous person to this cult that we live in. Because very few people can see the truth. Matt McKinley from Quantum of Conscience wrote a book, A Reality Few Can See, which I'm actually pretty sure is a callback to a different occult book. But you become dangerous to them. That's why they would rather leave you alone than have you call out the truth. For instance, you know that you don't actually need to get a license for a right. You know that, and I know that. And the people that don't know that are the ones that get tickets for it. I've been traveling every day. Every video I've made in my vehicle, my car, let's call it what it is, not their legalese. I exercise my right. Okay, you can call it a privilege if you want. You can go pay $100 or however many dollars a year to get a piece of metal attached to your car. It means nothing. It means nothing. All it does is show that you did pay. Does it make you a safer driver? No. Does it do anything other than collect funds? No, because you don't even need to take a test to renew your license. It's not about safety, it's about control. And you need to get yourself out from under that control and realize that only you can control your own life. You can allow other people to control it, but it's still you allowing that. It's still you deciding that. And the quicker you realize that, the freer we'll be. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Enjoy the sun.